All right, hey everybody, this is Todd from Missing Skills University, and tonight we're going to build a budget in Excel, and it's one of the best things that you can do for your home finances to manage them and also understand numbers and how they work for your work finances as well. So I have a normal desktop screen here. I'm going to double click on my Excel icon just like you would do at home. Excel is going to open up. I'm using version 2019. Yours might look a little bit different. I'm going to click on blank workbook. I know you can't see it because it's behind me, but I'm going to click on the zoom feature just real quick so that I can zoom in and you can see a little bit better. And we're going to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename my tab down here, My Budget. And all I did was right click on this and click rename. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to number the lines. I'll explain a little bit more about that. We're going to put in some titles, expenses. All I'm doing is using my left and right arrow key to move back and forth among my cells, up and down. I'm going to put in the amount for my expenses. I'm going to skip a section because I'm going to start another section here. I'm going to put in income and amount. Since we're typing in words to expenses, I'm going to increase the size of that a little bit. I'm going to increase the size of income, increase amount. And I'm going to make these bold. And let's see what Excel does, and it does bold. Now, all I did was I highlighted these, and the way I do that is I click and drag my mouse, and I did a Control B. You can see the bold icon up here. You can also hit the bold icon if you want, or Control B. As long as you hover over it, you can also see what the keystroke is. It says right there, bold is Control B. So if I hit Control B, bold on and off. So the row feature, you can type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. That's one way to do it. The one thing I don't like about that is if I were to decide to right click on this and delete this row, you can see it does not automatically renumber. It's 1, 2, 4, 5. So I'm going to put in a function that says what row am I on? And the function is equals row, and it's equals row left paren, right paren. That's the function. That's how you type it. And it says row 2. I'm going to Control C to copy that. Control V to paste it, paste it, paste it. Now you can see that I'm off by a row. I'm off by 1. So I want each of these to be row minus 1. Now it's line 1, line 2, 3, 4. And the reason why you do that is because if you print out this page once we're done, it'll print these along with the page and they'll show up. If you don't put this column in here, these numbers over here on the far left side, they do not show up when you print out. I'm going to click on the A and just center that to make it look a little bit better. But the nice thing is that if I right click on this now and I hit delete, you'll see it renumber 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to copy and paste, Control C. I'm going to copy it down to here. And now I have 14 lines to work with. Control C is copy, Control V is paste. I want this to look like a table. So I'm going to highlight this section. Again, clicking my mouse, dragging it. I'm going to go to the borders and I'm going to click all borders. I'm going to go over here to my income and I'm going to click all borders. I'm going to create a new section over here. This is our final section, total income, total expenses, balance or amount left over. And I'm going to make that a section, and now this will become clear here very quickly. So let's start putting in some items. Mortgage payment, car, I'm just going to put them in real quick, cable, water, sewer, okay? Oh yeah, SEWER. Okay. Down here at the bottom, I want this to come out with my totals. Over here, I want this to be my totals for income. Over here, I'm going to put in payday 1, payday 2, and rental. I'm just putting in something miscellaneous. In fact, I'm even going to call it miscellaneous. Something that I have an extra piece of income. So mortgage payment is $800 a month, cars $400 a month, electric, cable $150, water is $25, sewer is $75. I'm just again throwing out some numbers. Payday is $1,200. Let's make it $1,100 a month. $1,100 twice a month, and we get $500 once a month for something. Now we want to see the total of these amounts. There's a nice function called equal sum. If I just type it in, and remember, all functions have to have a left paren and a right paren, and it's giving you some hint right here. Sum Number 1, number 2, what numbers do you want to put in there? You can just actually highlight this row, or this column here, sorry, and then hit enter, and it says that total is $1,550. Same thing here. Now I'm going to show you another way to do this. Since sum is used so often in Excel, it's actually right here on the main page. It's probably one of the only functions that they put right there on the main page, but that's because they use it so often. So I'm going to click on auto sum. Excel is going to try to guess what numbers you want to sum. It happened to guess right, and that's $2,700 in income. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to find out where is the total income so I can summarize it here. Remember that when you're communicating at work, some people, they don't want to see all the detail, they just want to see the summary. So let's summarize for somebody, including yourself. Total income happens to be sitting in this cell. It's F, in this case 8. How would you know that if you weren't sure how to find it? You can also go up here, I'm going to zoom in, F8. If you see that down here, this total is in C15. It says C15 right here. It moves as you move. So this is $2,700, and we said that this is F8. So if you want to know what the total income is, you can say equals F8. And by the way, you can put this on a different tab as well if you wanted to do a different summary. That's in another lesson, another module. Total expenses, we said, is in C15, equals C15. And you can see when you type it in here how it highlights it. This total income is sitting in F12. This is in F13. So all you have to do is say equals F12 minus F13. And that is the amount of money that you have left over each month. Let's make these look like real dollars. There's 2 ways to do this. You can highlight these cells and you can click this formatting area. There's a dollar right there. I don't like this one because it puts a big space between the dollar symbol and the dollar amount. So I like to actually drop this down and select currency, and it looks a little better. So that's 2 ways of doing it, this dollar or the drop down. And once you have one that you like the way it looks, there's another feature here that I really like. Let's say I like this. I want the rest of these items to look like this format. So you can click on the paintbrush over here. It's called the formatting paintbrush. And you go over here and highlight these, and it changes them correctly. If you double click on the paintbrush, let me show you something. I want them to look like this. Double click. It went on and off. Double click. There we go. I can highlight these. I can lift my cursor and come down to these. I could do this, this, and they would all look like dollars. My cursor, you can see, stayed looking like a paintbrush until I hit escape. Now I'm going to hit escape. My cursor went back to a normal cursor. Okay, I want these to look bold. I'm going to highlight these, Control B. I'm going to highlight this, Control B, balance left over, Control B. I could even highlight that bucket right there. You could drop this down and say, I want this to be blue, maybe a light blue, maybe green. How about that? That's the balance I have left over. Well, Todd, I never have a $1,150 left over. You know, I've printed this out. I know that's not right. Or I printed it out. I thought it was right, but next month and the next month after that, I never have this much left over. Well, that probably means that you forgot something over here. Did you forget maybe that you go get groceries once a month for $200 a month? You forgot about money for going out, $200 a month. And as I put those dollar amounts in there, this increases. Let me take this away one more time. Watch down here. If I take the $200 away, it went down to $1,750. It changed it to $1,750 over here, and I have $950 left over. But if I change this back to $200 for going out, this went up, this went up, this went down because it's the amount I have left over. Let's say I get a raise, $1,200 a month. I get $100, $200 a month increase, and then of course it goes back up. So the way that you want to use this is keep it handy, adjust it on a monthly basis until it starts to settle in. You know, most people don't get a raise every month. That would be nice if you did, but you know, maybe once a year. Well, then you can adjust this once a year. Again, the second month, the third month, you forgot, oh, I have an insurance bill that I pay every month. It's $100. Okay, here's your total expenses. Here's your adjusted total income. Here's your expenses again. Here's your balance left over. It's a nice little amount. Everything's paid for. You have some money left over. Now you know how much you can use to give some money to charity, buy something for mom and dad, buy something for your children, buy something for your spouse, save something nice for a trip, put some money in savings. What would be really cool, let's say if we got another increase, $1,300 a month, $1,300 twice a month, we now have $1,050 left over. we need to start putting some money in savings so that we have a nice retirement. We're going to say 200, still 850 a month. Okay. That's how you adjust this as you go on. And I hope that helps you to understand how to build a budget, understand it, and manage your finances. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Hey folks, just a reminder, on our YouTube site, you can click on playlist and then Excel or Word or Finance and see all of the modules that we have and all the things that the way they work together. So if you go to the Finance module, we also talk about budgets. We don't talk about how to build them in Excel, but we talk about the importance and the concepts behind them and how they can be used in your work life and in your home life. And we also, if you go to the YouTube site, go to the playlist and look at Excel, you can see all the other things about Excel. So if you had a little bit of a struggle following along with just building this budget, which is a fairly simple thing to do, but again, if you're just starting out, go to our Starting Excel module, our Starting Excel lesson, and start there. It doesn't take long, just dive right in, follow along, fast forward, rewind, things like that, and until you get it. So stay cool, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.